As always, thank you for tuning in. You're about to watch an interesting video from the Smith & Wesson booth, SHOT Show 2012. I want to tell you how this video came to fruition. And I must say, I got to hand it to Smith. You know, I went to approximately 70 booths during SHOT Show 2012, and I got about 50 different videos to bring to you over the next several weeks. And all the booths really had open arms. Smith really went out of their way, and I'll tell you about that in a moment. But the 20 that I did not get videos, no big deal. They were very kind and nice. There was one that was not kind and nice, but if they didn't want to do a video, they just simply said, well, we're camera shy, or usually the case was their media person was not available. He was at lunch, or he was already doing a video with someone else, and he was busy with the press, and things like that. Normal stuff. So if a booth didn't want to do a video, no big deal. It was just no big deal. And Smith & Wesson, when I came to them, Smith, you know, my audience, my friends, you know I've been touting this E-Class big time. I love this 1911, and you'll see in this video you're about to watch one of the creators of the new E-Class discussing it. And you know, I always discuss, when it comes to revolvers, I love the Performance Center revolvers. This is my Snub Nose 44 Magnum, and we'll talk to an expert here in a moment from the Performance Center. You're about to watch 3 segments talking about their M&P series rifles, then we're going to go to the E-Class series 1911s, and then we're going to go to the Performance Center. And what I'm trying to say here also is what Smith did was when I came up to them with the proposal of marketing their products, they said, whoa, wait a minute, we need to get everyone involved here. They pulled one guy out of his lunch break. They cleared the floor off to make sure that there was no one interfering with the sound, the audio, with the video, and they really welcome me with open arms, and they really appreciate us as consumers. That made me feel good, and I like that. And enjoy this Smith & Wesson video. Here we go. Thank you. Welcome to weaponseducation.com. We are at the Smith & Wesson booth, SHOT Show 2012. Thank you so much, Danielle. We're going to do a review on the M&P rifle line, and we're going to move through this video. We're going to talk about some rifles. We're going to go talk about the Smith & Wesson E-Class 1911s, and we're going to move on and go to an expert, and he's going to talk to us about the Performance Center revolvers here momentarily. Let's start with the M&P rifle line.
Absolutely.
Take it over.
So this year for 2012, we've got some new rifles in our line. This first one that I'm showing you is the 300 Whisper. This is a 300 Whisper, also shoots 300 AAC. This is about a mid-sized game rifle. You can shoot something like a mid-sized deer or maybe a pig. This features a 1-in-7 twist, 5R rifled barrel. It's also a melanited barrel on here. We've got a feed ramp that's been optimized along with a gas port that's been optimized. Can shoot anything from a 110 to 220 grain ammo, and that can be suppressed or unsuppressed, and that can be subsonic or supersonic. All right, if you don't like the APG, we also offer this in a black tactical upper that you can see here. And this black tactical upper can fit on any standard AR platform. Next in line is the VTAC rifle. So the VTAC rifle, we did this in conjunction with Kyle Lamb from VTAC. So this has an iMod Voltor 6-position collapsible stock on here. It has a great trigger on this. This has got the Geissele Super V trigger. Geissele and Kyle Lamb from VTAC worked on this trigger. It's about a 3.5 to a 4-pound trigger. Extremely smooth. Let's move on just a little bit. This has got the Troy 13-inch Extreme Rail on there. As you'll notice, this is extremely ergonomic. Also keeps this very cool for the shooter. We've got a mid-length system on this. It's a 1-in-8 twist, 5R rifled barrel. It's got a patent-pending flash hider on there, brand new this year from Smith & Wesson. Propels the gases and the noises forward away from the shooter and also reduces the secondary flash. This also comes with all of these great things to put everything that you need on your rifle. Also comes in the package with a thick padded sling. Last but not least, we have our Magpul Mo Mid. This is new for this year as well. This comes in the FDE color, also comes in the black. Things to note on this rifle, these are also mid-length systems this year. They feature all of the Moog components that you see here. Comes with 130 round mag, the new Gen 2 flip-up sights on here. Also comes with a low profile CMV barrel. It's a 1 in 8 twist, 5R rifled barrel. Also has the Smith & Wesson patent pending flash hider on here. But the most important thing to note on this rifle is we are the one and only company where you can now get a co-branded lower. So this lower says Smith & Wesson on one side, it says Magpul on the other. It's made to look like an original billet lower. It's got the forged integral trigger guard on here. It's got a flared mag well for easy insertion of the magazine. It's also got some nice, great features on here. Only can be found at Smith & Wesson.
Excellent. Beautiful stuff. Excellent. Great job, Danielle. We're going to go look at the Smith & Wesson E-Class 1911s. Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Thank you. Let's go talk to Herb over here. He's one of the designers of the E-Class series, Smith & Wesson. Herb, how are you?
How are you doing?
Good.
What's your name?
Tom, we're going to talk to the world all about the Smith & Wesson E-Class series. I understand you're one of the developers, you're the product manager with Smith & Wesson. And this is one of my firearms here, and we preview it a lot on the channel. Let's start with this one here. I always brag about this gun as being the sexiest 1911 on the planet. Take it over, Herb.
I appreciate that. This is our new commander size E-Series gun. The best way to really see what we're up to here is this is the series before this gun. So outwardly, they at first glance sort of the same, but you start to get a little bit closer, you see a lot of differences. For instance, the oversized extractor, we've gone to a more aggressive extractor profile. Certainly the fish scaling fore and aft is a change, and not only is it a visual change, but if you feel that, you've got a lot better purchase than you do on the traditional angled cut. Top of the gun's got some detailing, reflection reduction, but mostly visual. I'm an old revolver guy. I like a gun with a top strap on it, so we put it on here.
Even got some.
Okay, yeah. Now, and this is functional because you got sunlight coming in over your shoulder. That's a reflective surface. Break it up, and that's what we did on this gun. With the sights on these particular guns, all of the sights are tritium capsule, so they are true night sights. Internally, there are two major component changes on the differentiating two guns. One is a trigger that is precision fit. It's hand fit in the assembly process, and it takes a lot of the play and rattle and that sort of thing out of it. But even more important, we've gotten rid of the old Series 80 firing pin blocking mechanism. When you depress the grip safety on the old gun, you do two things. You deactivate the trigger, and you also throw a pin and a blocking mechanism that locks the firing pin in place. We've gotten rid of all of that rigmarole and replaced it with a titanium firing pin.
Great.
Titanium is 60% the weight of steel, and if you drop this gun, the lightness of the pin will prevent it from slam firing.
Interesting.
Other little things, the muzzle of the gun is, this is the traditional muzzle on the older gun. A lot of people prefer a more precise chamfering of the muzzle. This works hand in hand with the accuracy of the piece, so we made that change there. There's an undercut here for the shooter's finger that was not available on the original gun.
And you've got the rounded butt now?
And the rounded butt. That makes such a huge difference. You take a standard gun, and I grip this gun. I'm really hanging on to it. Look what I'm doing right here.
Exactly.
As a matter of fact, I don't know if you can see that, and that's painful. And when you go into recoil, it's even more painful. We do that with a round butt. World of difference, and it feels better too. So I think that's one of the reasons for the outstanding popularity of this little gun, as you mentioned earlier.
Also, what I really talk about a lot is the fact that it's got a scandium frame. Would you talk about the scandium?
Yeah,
Let's talk about that.
We've been using, I think exclusively too, we've got a couple of nice patents on that. We've been using scandium aluminum alloy as a construct material on a lot of our firearms. The initial ultralight Magnum revolvers were scandium frame and are scandium frame. And the reason we do that is because the addition of a small amount of scandium, which is an element, want me to talk to the camera? Yeah. Okay, yeah. The addition of a small amount of scandium to aluminum greatly reduces its tendency to crack. And those people who have fired alloy frame 1911s are probably very familiar with the 10,000 round there go the rails. It's not going to happen on a scandium frame gun. It's tough. 60% the weight of steel. If this is a carry gun, you got to consider that. You don't want your belt dragging down to your knees.
That's right. I believe that's only 24 ounces if I remember.
A little probably closer to 27.
27 ounces.
Still a far cry from a full steel gun.
Correct. Yeah, this is heavy. This is heavy.
Yeah. That's a handful.
That's a handful. Correct. It was beautiful.
Of course,
beautiful firearm.
It's a different gun. They're all 1911s, but this is more of a combat type gun, a SWAT type gun.
Yeah, this is a nice one here.
It'll take lasers. It'll take illuminators. It's a Picatinny style rail on it.
Is this new for 2011? This came out?
These guns have been out approximately a year.
It's about a year. Yep. This is January 2012. We're making the video.
Yep.
Excellent. Beautiful firearms. Great job, Herb.
Right,
we're going to mosey on down to the Performance Center now.
Okay.
Thank you,
good
sir.
luck. Take care.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Let's go on down here. Okay, I'm with Tony at the Performance Center at Smith & Wesson. Tony, take it over and tell the viewers exactly what separates a Performance Center revolver and a non-Performance Center revolver as we look at these beautiful 500 Magnums.
I guess the biggest differentiator with the guns is the fact that every Performance Center gun leaves the factory with an action package. So in other words, it's fine-tuned from the factory. You get about a 10-pound double action trigger pull, where a standard production gun starts at about 12 pounds, and you get a 3.5-pound single action trigger pull. Most of the guns, if you take a look at them, they have special features. This particular gun in the 460 has fiber optic sights, Picatinny style rail. The rail is actually part of the barrel, so it's nice and rigid. When you mount the scope to that, it doesn't loosen up, so you don't have any problem in the field while you're hunting. 460 flat shooting gun, chrome hammer, chrome trigger. Moving on to the 500, and if you take a look at this particular gun, it has a dovetailed in front sight, red ramp. Once again, Picatinny style rail. It is a Performance Center gun, so it leaves the factory with that same action package that I talked to you about, as well as these other two fine models from the Performance Center, the 460 and the 500.
I got this question for you. I own the stub nose 500 Magnum.
Right.
Why did you discontinue that line? I'm just curious.
That was an actual production run that just, it ran its course. And, we'll move on and we'll make something new for you.
Yeah, we have some fun shooting that on camera. It's got some recoil to it.
Sure.
Just sort of throw that out there. What else can you tell the audience about the Performance Center as a whole?
If you're looking for a gun that's great in the field for hunting, then the Performance Center guns, we've put bipads on them. Some of them come with optics. A lot of them come with slings. So if you're looking for a great hunting gun, this is the way to go.
Excellent. What about your 44 Magnums? Are they around here somewhere?
They are. We'll take a look on the other side.
Let's go take a look. Okay, here we are. Take it over, Tony.
Yeah, if you take a look here, this is our Stealth Hunter. Okay, so it has a polymer coating on it, protect the stainless steel. Weaver style base, once again, dovetail front sight. It is a Performance Center gun, so it does get an action package leaving. This particular model also has a trigger stop on it. It's 44 Magnum, probably one of the most sought after guns, or handguns for hunting in the field today, especially for like white-tailed deer. This is a 629, once again out of the Performance Center. Attachable mount for scope, so you can either attach it with or without, going out open sights. Once again, dovetail front sight. It is a Performance Center gun, so once again, leaves the factory with Performance Center features such as trigger stop, chrome hammer, chrome trigger. This particular model, if you take a look at, also has a ball detent lockup, so we eliminate the locking bolt, which is less drag on the cylinder, so when you're pulling a gun, the cylinder's a lot smoother. So nice. That's another feature in a lot of the Performance Center guns is the ball detent lockup.
Explain that again one more time.
Sure. The ball detent is here, and what it actually does is it replaces the locking bolt there, and what that does, it actually adds a little drag to the cylinder. So on a Performance Center model, we put this ball detent in here, we eliminate the locking bolt, so as the cylinder rotates, there is no bind there, and it's nice and smooth, as you can see.
That's interesting.
It's like on ball bearings.
Yeah, we're learning. That's great. All right, well, thank you so much, Tony, for your time, and
You're welcome. Thank you.
check out the performance centers at smithandwesson.com. Thank you. Good job.
Thank you.